Hello everyone, good afternoon. True Zero Emissions here. You know that obviously. I probably didn't need to say that. Well, guess what? I'm feeling pretty good after my crash yesterday. What I mean is, I'm still functioning, right? That's a good thing. I can still breathe, I can still move somewhat. I landed on my left rib cage. I'm told that even if I broke the ribs, okay, I wasn't told this by a doctor, but I've heard this before. If someone breaks their ribs, what do? They wrap it up, which I think helps prevent movement or expansion, like when you're breathing, and let it heal, right? I don't think I broke my ribs. I might have cracked a couple of them. I weigh 180 pounds, and all that weight slammed down onto my ribs when I fell yesterday. It's up on video. It's on the recent upload. I think it's video number 2 for the Turnbull Canyon ride. Somewhere in the middle. I'm just thinking about where I'm going right now. Let me think about this. Yeah, I might as well go check on this. I'm gonna go check the bike path and see if it was trimmed. I emailed the person that's supposed to be in charge of, well, one of the people that are in charge of designating tree trimmings. And I'm curious if they had a chance to do it. No one got back to me, so part of me feels like maybe nothing was done, or they could have just done it and not replied to me. And sometimes they just do a job and they won't say anything. Like when I wrote the city about a pothole on the street, the city, when I wrote the city, because like it rained and there was a big hole in the street, and if you don't call that in, they won't. I don't know if they'll come and fix it. How do they know anything happened, right? So they said send them a photo. This is a while back. This is a couple years ago. I sent a photo of the big hole in the street, and they came out within a week or two and filled the hole in. What happens on that, like when you have those big rigs, 18-wheelers, but sometimes they have more and sometimes they have less. When they hit those holes, it like shakes the whole. It feels like it shakes the whole street. It's like boom, boom. It's like massive shaking. Can I go? I think I can go. It looks clear. So, but what it does is it just tears the street up. If they fill the hole in, then it doesn't get worse, right? If they don't fill the hole in, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So it's funny because right now it's so easy to feel confident in riding. I'm like, oh, I feel like I can ride so well. But I can't go downhill very well. Oh, a bug just went in my helmet. I think I'll put the goggles on. Or something went in there. I don't know what it was. Could have been like a leaf. So anyway, I need to practice my downhills. Why did I bring the bell today? Because it's more subtle for people than this loud horn I have in my right hand. So if I have the bell, that's very subtle, right? That's loud. So sad news. Someone, very, very sad news. Someone died on an electric unicycle. Now, one of the first things I think of is people die in cars. I think in America alone, United States of America alone, 126 people on average die every day in car accidents. It's just unimaginable. I really feel like there has to be a solution to transportation that would allow people to not die to get where they need to go. Now, you could say, oh, you're riding an electric unicycle, that's like exponentially more dangerous than an automobile. I don't actually know that it is. Let me think. There's a YouTube channel, I'm trying to think of the YouTube channel name. It's a woman, she's really, really smart. And she makes a lot of videos on how to ride motorcycles and motorcycle training. She was saying that in her statistics, when she looked into it, because they say, like on motorcycles, they say there's I think it's like a 2,000 or 3,000% higher chance of getting injured or dying on a motorcycle compared to a car. And she found different statistics when she looked into it. I think it's called Doodle on a Motorcycle or something like that. It's something like that. Doodle on a Motorcycle. It's a really good channel. I highly recommend it. Between watching that channel and many others, but also Dan the Fireman. YouTube channel. Learning Safety. So I do have the camera on the left side of the helmet now. And I actually fell on that side. I don't know how this happened. I fell over there. What I mean is I don't know how the camera didn't break or really get damaged. I think it's because it's up high and far back. Because my helmet smashed into the ground yesterday when I fell. My rib cage hit really hard. My left rib cage. Okay, let's see. So I usually don't come out in the middle of the day to practice and to ride. But today I had some time and I want to ride right now. But I have to remind myself this is a whole different world right now compared to nighttime. I usually practice at night, but there's like several 1,000% more people out right now. That means all these intersections, right? That's what Dan the Fireman. I don't know if Dan the Fireman taught us that, or if I learned that in the motorcycle training courses I took. But they teach us that every driveway or anywhere a car can pull out of is an intersection, right? And these are like mini intersections where people come out. So we definitely don't want to just go flying by where people come out, right? I'm sure it happens here, but in different parts of the world, I've seen where people would be riding their scooter and someone steps out like of a train or a bus and the scooter's like right next to the train or bus, real close, and they hit each other. Oh, goodness. Terrible. Now, that could happen anywhere. Let's go back to the electric unicycle crash. It sounds like it was a new rider, and when they said, someone was telling me that read the original post that this person bought something really powerful and they were a new rider, I thought of myself, I'm like, well, that's me. Or is it? Because I learned on a V10F, I didn't learn on a Lynx. And I asked several people that are at the highest levels of experience. They unanimously said there's no reason for me not to get a Lynx if that's what I want. If my being new at this is not a factor. So So now it doesn't mean I can't. I have not to be careful. Like, I absolutely have to be really careful, and I have to respect this machine at all times. And remember, I try to remind myself of all the important things about writing, which is, well, one of my teachers said the humble person never fails, right? I already behaved in that mannerism my whole life, right? But saying the words does help too, which is I don't know how to talk about it really, but it's like not thinking, oh, I got this mastered, I could do this, I'm good at this. Not thinking that. It's thinking, how can I be more careful? How can I be more safe, right? How can I be more cautious? And how can I improve my skill level? Which is why I practice so much. Think about walking, right? We walk and we get really good at it really quick, right? When we're learning to walk, when we're very small. And walking is extremely complex. I've seen throughout my life several documentaries or specials or both on how complicated walking is. And it's kind of amazing how we tilt our body, we lean one way and then move the other leg forward, and then lean the other way and then move the other leg forward, if I'm saying that correctly. But it's not just like it's a simple task, it's quite complex. And we do it seeming effortlessly and so smooth. And it's because we do it all the time, right? We do it every single day. Go ahead. I crashed on this corner once. I was coming this way toward myself right now, and a mountain bike came around here really fast. A young kid, young teenager. When I say young, he might have been like 13 or 14. He was going fast on his mountain bike. He flew around that corner. I was cruising on the scooter, which at that time I think was the Xiaomi M365, had extra batteries on it with a 100-mile range, had a seat, had an umbrella, and we hit each other. We both went flying over the handlebars. We were both okay, as far as I know. He just got up and left real quick. I think he was embarrassed. At the time, I couldn't think clear. I said, what happened? I said, were you going fast? He's like, what? I don't know. He was nervous. But luckily, I think he was okay. I think we both flew over the handlebars because we both hit the front brake real hard to stop. But blind corners are where you can't see around the corner. It's definitely a place we want to slow down as much as possible, right? Let's see if I can make this turn without stopping so I don't have to lose my balance and fall. I think I can just go up this step right here. Here we go. So today I'm wearing different gear a little bit. I put my chest protector on, which I just realized doesn't have the side protection, like the rib cage on the side. I don't know what you call that on the side. Leet makes, I think they make a something that specifically protects the sides. I'm gonna look into that because I need something that protects the side areas. That's where I fell yesterday, on the side of my rib cage. So I don't even know if this one in the front would even help. It, would have helped yesterday on the fall. I don't know if it would have helped. But I'm still gonna wear my chest protector that I'm wearing now. And I don't know how many chest protectors actually have protection on the side, like underneath the armpit area, the rib cage right there, which is where I hit really hard yesterday when I fell. If you see that fall, it's in Turnbull Canyon ride. I think it's video 2 in the middle somewhere. It all happened so fast. It always does, right? The falls happen quick. Really, really quick. So Sunday is intro to speed meeting. I would like to go to that if I feel like I can do it. And you know, sometimes when you fall, it gets worse before it gets better, so I have to see how I feel. But I am going to wear my chest protector from now on. I don't know why I wasn't wearing it. It's embarrassing, really. I had my chest protector at home. I didn't wear it. And I think what I was thinking was many thoughts, but one of them was, oh, I'm going to get one that's specifically for the street and one specifically for the dirt. And I thought this was going to be my street chest protector. And I'll have a separate one for the dirt that I would buy someday, right? So I was kind of researching that and hadn't made a decision yet. But there is a big muscle, the chest muscle, where I fell. Like I was checking to see where it hurts the most on my chest, and I'm like, yeah, that probably helped a lot. Because if there was no muscle there, I might have just snapped the bone really bad, right? I don't know. I'm definitely riding with people that are much faster than myself, which is an opportunity to learn. But also, like, I really like what James said. He said, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the exact words, right? The exact words and sentence exactly. But it was approximately this. It's something like he values the person that is not affected by peer pressure as much as he values the person that does something bravely for the first time or something very extremely difficult, right? He values the person that says, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm not ready for that, or I just don't want to do it. He values that experience and that opinion, that statement, all those things just as much. He values and respects it. I like that. We have some wise people in the group. We have like such a diverse group in the ramen group. Just a great team, great people. And apparently it's by invitation only. Where have we heard that before? Invitation only. Many things are like that, right? Invitation only. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think if you want to be a part of something, I think you're going to be a part of it. There'll be a way. If you really want that, you know. Or you could start your own group, right? That's an option too. You could start your own group anytime. I was thinking, like when I was first starting to learn to ride, before I was invited to join the or before I was joined with Ramen Group, I was thinking of starting my own electric unicycle group called like Science Nerds or Big Nerds or something. Like just nerdy nerd, right? Which I think is like the coolest thing there is, like nerd. But to be a nerd, right, which is like, what is that exactly, right? But also to be respectful and mindful and open to others, not to be rude and disrespectful. To me, that's not nerd. Nerd is like like it's like focusing your obsessions on learning something. It could be anything, I guess, as long as it doesn't hurt yourself or others. That's just my thoughts. So I fell on my power supply, and the plug came loose, but still works, which surprised me. So I'm wearing my chest protector today, and I have a different jacket on over that because my other jacket would not fit unless I took the armor out of it. And this jacket doesn't have any armor in it. I took the armor out. I already had taken it out, and this one fit. I'm surprised because it's small. This is a small jacket. Oh, I just saw a screw, which is an opportunity for a flat tire. Let me see if that's really a screw or if I'm just seeing things. No, that's definitely a screw. See that? I'm gonna move that into the dirt, where hopefully it doesn't give anybody a flat. Oh, is it time to go? I don't know. I don't think I pushed the button. This cooler weather is so nice. It's so nice to have cooler weather right now. Here we go. Ooh, every single bump, I feel it. I'm looking forward to my ribcage healing, and also to getting more gear for my ribcage area. I just like having proper gear, I really do, because if you fall and you have proper gear on, it makes such a difference. So it's easy to compare ourselves to others that are much better at something than us. Like when I was riding with the group yesterday, all the riders were many years more experienced than me. And Justin was telling me that he and James were talking about how I was doing well. And I like that feedback. It's good feedback for me because I was really feeling like I didn't do very good. But I've only been riding for like 3 months, right? That's something I do when I'm driving, is I try to look back at the sidewalk to see if any scooters are coming or bicycles. Because if you don't and you just turn, if it's a bicycle there, they're gonna go flying over the hood of the car. Happens all the time. Okay, going back to the story of how the person died on the electric unicycle, you could skip forward a few minutes if you don't want to hear the story. But my understanding is that it says they lost control of the unicycle on a road. They were on a road. They lost control of the unicycle, the electric unicycle. They crossed over into oncoming vehicles and a truck hit them. They found out the person that driving the truck didn't have a license. Which sounds really bad to me. They said they cited the person for not having a license. I'm going to say it this way, the leniency, because to me that sounds very lenient. But maybe not. I mean, I've already had this conversation with people that are much more smaller, like much more knowledgeable than myself, and they pointed out some very good points. But I will say that in my driver's courses that I was taking for driving safety, that was taught by a retired police officer. He said that you can kill people in a car. Like I don't know what the number is. He's like, you could kill like 6 people a year and still have your license. Like the way he said it, I don't know if it's 6 or what, like exactly how he said it. I'm paraphrasing, but it's just like, it's because it's an accident, right? Now, obviously, there's times when it's not an accident, and I just heard of a story where someone went to prison because it was not an accident. There was like road rage, and it escalated, and I don't know everything that happened, but if it's an accident, because accidents happen, right? Then, oops, I didn't even see this guy. I did not see him at all. I was not looking for someone coming toward me. I think that's what happens when people drive on the freeway backwards. That's a thing. Have you heard about that? It's where someone makes a mistake, they get on the freeway the wrong way because they somehow get confused, and it'll be a head-on collision oftentimes. Terrible accidents. It's really sad that the person passed away on the electric unicycle, and we need to be careful. But we have to be careful with all transportation, right? Even automobiles. We think we're safe in a car, but look how many people die in car accidents. And they say that the reports I read when I was reading about this were saying that even though we're putting all this safety gear inside automobiles, it's not changing the numbers. The numbers are still really, really high. And it's, in some cases, the statistics for the injuries are higher. Okay, is it clear to be in the bike lane right now? Oh, now you can see me check my mirror all the time, because you're on the mirror side now. I don't know if you can see through all these wires, though. Apologies for that. that Tesla putting their signal on helped me a lot because it tells me they're turning. When a person doesn't signal, it makes a big difference. Like, it's, if they just turn, then we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's happening. It's so nice when people signal. Right now, I have to watch the front tires of cars that are parked. If those front tires turn, that means someone's going to pull out, right? That's one of the things we were taught. I know it sounds obvious, but it's still helpful to me. It was helpful to learn that. Oftentimes things sound obvious after I learn them. It's like, oh yeah, of course. But did I know it before, or it was taught to me? I'm being pushed out into the street. The bike lane's closed right here. Looks like they're filming. Can I squeeze through here? Tight squeeze there. It was definitely difficult sleeping last night with my rib cage sore, because anything I did, like any movement hurt. So if you want to ride micromobility and you don't want to worry about falling, they do make those recumbent bikes that are 3 wheels. And I think those are very stable because it's 3 wheels, so it's not going to fall over very easily, right? I mean, unless you go really, really fast around a corner, it might flip over, but let's see if I can make this. I just met a gentleman named Bo. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And he has a recumbent bike. I'm not sure that's what he calls it, but I'm calling it that because it has 3 wheels. It has 2 wheels in the front. No, is it 1 wheel in the front? I don't remember if it's 2 wheels in the front or 2 wheels in the back. What happened here?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? I thought he crashed. Maybe he did, I don't know. Also, maybe just the suitcase fell off. I don't know. That's why this center island is so good, because if the street that gentleman that passed away on had a center divider like this, he wouldn't have been able to crash into oncoming cars. And it also means that people that lose control of a car for various reasons, including health complications or drunk driving, those are 2 very different experiences, but both can cause loss of control. You won't have the head-on collision situation if there's an island like this. See this island here? Trees, everything there. And they put a bus line in there. Forgot which bus line that's called. Okay, I'm going to start a new video because I'm trying to keep the video shorter. Oh, let me think about this. The videos have been uploading well. I guess I could let it go. I guess I could load longer videos now. They're loading good. What I do is I unplug everything from the internet. It's not a long-term solution, but it's working temporarily. AT&T's coming out Tuesday, I think it is. They're going to I forgot what day it was they're coming. I have it written down. They're gonna look at everything, see what's going on with the internet, try to figure out why I'm losing speed while I'm loading videos, right? If I just do a test, it tests well. But then when I'm uploading a video, it's like finally a bike path again, where I'm away from the cars. Wouldn't it have been nice if when the cities were designed, right, because everything's planned way ahead, right? Everything's planned way ahead. Wouldn't it have been nice if we could have as many bike paths, if not more, than we have streets? I think that'd be wonderful. Now, it's never too late to do something, right? It's never too late. And as a last resort, we could have skyways where these things are built up in the air, the way they make freeways up in the air like that. You could have a bike path that's up in the air, held up by cement and steel and all the things they build skyways with. I heard some states have really beautiful skyways for micromobility and for walking and hiking and stuff. Well, I don't know if it's considered hiking, but walking and jogging, I guess. And they're a great success. And so yeah, and then all the rivers and all the old so all the rivers could have bike paths. A lot of them do. They need to be maintained better. All this is low right here, always low right here, this whole area, always low. I don't know why. Okay, we got 8 seconds. I think we're gonna make it, as long as watching for cars. Okay, so what was I talking about? I forgot. Oh, more bike paths. I'm imagining having as many bike paths or more than there are streets. I think that would be amazing. We could have that if we want it. We have to vote for it, right? If enough people want it, they'll build it. What a nice path this is. Such a nice path. Most of my practice has been high speed. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to minimize my chances of crashing at a high speed when I'm riding in a group, right? Because then I could take out people behind me. What if someone's behind me and I crash? And people behind me can get hurt too, right? So I thought, let me do lots of practicing of going the higher speeds, which like I just did right now, I consider that a high speed. And I try to practice my turns, but I'm not the greatest at downhill, whether it be street or dirt. And I'm just going to need to keep practicing. But things take time. I mean, people have been riding for years. I just started riding a couple months ago. I think it's been like 3 months of riding. I learned to ride and then I immediately took a month off, waiting for my links to come. That was very hard to do, by the way. Barbecue. Is it clear? Oh, it is clear. 2 seconds. On your right. Okay, what do we have here? Scooters. Practice my turns. I remember when turning was really hard for me, and it just became less difficult over time. I don't think it was one day where I was like, oh, I could turn now. But it was more like gradual. Lots of glass right there. So one of the things that I was taught when I was a kid was if you crash, you get right back up and go again. I'll tell you something. When I crashed last night, I was trying to get up, but I couldn't really get up that easily because I had the wind knocked out of me. But I saw someone in the group from yesterday's ride showed me a video of them crashing much harder than I crashed. They slammed down really hard on their chest and they got right back up, which was pretty surprising to me. Pretty surprising. Okay, it doesn't look like they trimmed it. I guess time to make more phone calls. We are at Balboa and Victory, I think. Yeah, Balboa Boulevard and Victory Boulevard. They said if you just, from talking to people, they said if you request for it to be high enough for a horse to go through, then they get it high, then it clears, it takes care of everybody. Like right now, these things are all hanging down. And they just smack you on the, they'll smack you on the head. They could pull you right off your, whatever you're riding too. There's branches there. There's some branches that'll knock a person down. So I used to not be able to turn very well, just turning. And I've improved at that because I practiced carving. And David really pointed out, like he said, you need to learn to carve. I mean, a lot of people were telling me that. James was telling me a lot. And what happens is when you carve, if you practice carving, then turning becomes easier. It's really amazing. On your left. I know some headphones have noise cancellation in there, so you just hear the music and nothing else. So I don't think they would hear me if that's the case, but I can at least go slowly when I pass them, so I don't startle anyone. Oh, I forgot to put sunscreen on my face. Oops. I remember on the InMotion V10F when I could not slow down without speed wobbles. Could not. Every time I slowed down, I would wobble. And I learned how to not wobble, at least wobble less. And on the links now, I don't wobble at all. And I was telling someone that's really, really fast. I said, I don't wobble when I slow down. And they were like, on the links? As if the links, like a lot of people are not happy with the stability of the links. But I don't know what levels that is. Is that like the highest level of racing? I don't know. What is the links unstable? Is it? Well, the Sherman L is more stable, but it weighs more. And some say the weight is what contributes to the stability. Most people say that, actually. But I also think once you get used to your wheel, that makes a difference. Like, I've learned to ride the links. I'm learning to ride it. Red light. Gates are closed. I don't know why the light's changing red if the gate's closed. There should be a way that sensor knows if the gates are closed, they shouldn't be turning red. I don't know. Maybe there's a different reason. Solar panel. That looked like the solar panel from Harbor Freight from a few years ago. I don't know if they still carry that one. Maybe that light's there still operative in the daytime or right now because someone can come in there, like an entrance. They can enter that area even though the gates are closed, right? Just an idea. I don't know why the lights are the way they are. Red light. Thanks. Take care. He said to go ahead. That was nice of him. Okay. When I fell down yesterday on my rib cage on the ride we went on, I noticed that my glove, like I think my left glove, filled up with dirt and rocks and stuff, and I emptied it out. James said, what did he ask me? I don't know if he asked me if I fell on a rock or not. I said, I fell on a rock. He said, did you keep the rock? I said, no. He said, you got to keep the rock. That way you could say, I fell on this rock. I fell on a bunch of rocks, though. I'd have to have a backpack full of rocks. When I was in college, someone once made a joke about my backpack being so heavy, and they said, what are you studying, rocks? Is that funny? At the time I didn't like it, but I guess it was later I thought it was funny. I'm like, studying rocks? These are my books. Books add up to weight, they get heavy. Can my electric unicycle fit on that bike rack? I don't think so. Sherman Oaks. Push it one more time. There it goes. that guy was sleeping right there. I see that so often that it's like when I see people on the bike path like sleeping on the ground, and there was a time I used to see if they were okay, but now I'm just it's so often that I see it, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they're passed out from drinking or what. So why am I stopping at a green light? Well, sometimes people go through red lights, right? Mistakes happen. I'm gonna slow down, just in case. Beep, beep. Okay. Alrighty, let's push the button. Okay. I don't see any vehicles. You ever looked up and no vehicle, and then looked up again, there's a vehicle coming fast? Happens sometimes. That's why you have to look more than once, right? It would be weird, and it could happen, if I'm more sore tomorrow, my rib cage, than I am today. That could happen, right? I do think I'm going to wrap the whole area though with Redmond clay. I put some Redmond clay on one of my small bandages. I don't know if I showed that in the video. I have a small waterproof bandage, and I put it in like a small area, which is like 3 inches by 4 inches or so, to help reduce the pain, because the Redmond clay reduces pain when you put it on an area where it's bruised. But I really need to put it on a larger area, like the whole side. So I think I do have a large container of the Redmond clay, and then I'll cover it with I don't know if it's called saran wrap or sandwich wrap, that sticky wrap, that plastic, or I don't know what it's called. It's like clear. You could wrap a sandwich with it. And that'll keep the clay dry. I'm sorry, it'll keep it from getting dry. It'll prevent it from getting dry. And that's what's needed. If the clay is kept moist, kept wet, that's when it can work. My glasses got foggy. When I stop, my glasses get foggy. It is so hard to see behind me riding an electric unicycle. Okay, I'm gonna start a new video because this one's pretty long now. Stop recording.